It was Friday night, and I was trying to talk my wife out of going on a date with some guy. While Jessie was putting on her makeup, I begged her not to go. "I really need this, Jack. Next year we're going to work on our family, and it'll be too late. Jessie, if you walk out that door, there won't be any us to start a family." "Are you threatening me, Jack? You're getting really annoying. I can't believe you're torturing me like this. I'll be back tomorrow, you'll forgive me, and everything will be just like before. Now get out of my sight. Go downstairs and have your little pity party." Before leaving the bedroom, I slipped some crushed sleeping pills into her wine. It wasn't Plan A, which was stuck in a huge traffic jam on the highway, but I had to stop her from leaving. I heard a soft knock from our room and found Jessie half lying on the bed. Feeling incredibly guilty, I took off her dress and the sexy bra and panty set I had never seen before. Looking at how she was dressed, I realized that I might have prevented her from sleeping with this guy, but she had already broken our wedding vows and broken my heart. It was time to put my revised plan into action. Jessie never locked her phone, so I had been following my plan for tonight for a couple of weeks. The whole thing was initiated by Stephanie, the biggest slut in our school. Jessie and Stephanie never talked at school, and I was surprised that they became friends when they started working together. In the morning, I heard Jessie start moving around and went to our room to give her some water. She was very confused, so I invited her to the kitchen for some coffee. "What happened last night, Jack? I remember getting dressed to go out, and then I woke up in my pajamas. I didn't want you to leave for sex, and I didn't think you took my protest seriously. Unfortunately, my original plan fell through due to an accident, so I had to improvise and drug you." "You drugged me, Jack. Do you realize how awful that is? You said it was over between us, and now you've done it yourself." Jessie stomped around the kitchen, cursing me. Then the doorbell rang, and Jessie was handed the divorce papers my lawyer had prepared. She opened the envelope and collapsed into a chair. "Jessie, I planned to give you the divorce papers last night, hoping you would understand how serious I am. But the courier was in a serious accident. How did you know before last night that it would take several days to prepare the papers? I own our cell phones and have the right to read all your text messages. I happened to see a message from Stephanie saying that Mr. Bigfoot would pick you up on Friday. I admit, I couldn't believe that my beloved wife was going to cheat on me. The rest of the text messages confirmed your intentions. At first, I just threatened divorce to keep you from breaking our marriage vows, but when I saw how you were preparing for your meeting with him, I realized that you had already broken your vows and broken my heart. Find yourself a lawyer. Lawsuits have already been filed against the women in your little Bigfoot club. We husbands are using the same lawyer. Maybe you should do the same." "Jack, the children are involved." "Whose fault is that? At first I blamed Stephanie, but after reading the text messages, I realized that no one tried to stop what was happening." Jessie's mother, Marge, burst into the house. I was waiting for her. "Where is that dirty whore I called my daughter?" Jessie said, "Mom, he drugged me." "And who do you think gave him the sleeping pills, you whore? I've never been so ashamed of one of my children. Shamed isn't the word, it's fucking awful. Mom, I just wanted one fling before Jack and I started a family." Marge slapped her daughter hard on the back. "What a romance, huh?" "Pack your things. I don't want Jack to look at you any longer than necessary," Marge said. "But I don't want to leave my home and my husband. I love you, Jack." "Play the recording for her, Jack." I pressed play on my phone. "Are you threatening me, Jack? You're getting really annoying. I can't believe you're torturing me like this. I'll be back tomorrow, you'll forgive me, and everything will be just as it was before. Now get out of my sight, go downstairs and have your little pity party." Why did Jack want a woman who talked to him like that sitting at his table? He was desperately trying to save his marriage. Now go get your things. Jessie went to gather her things, and Marge continued to berate her. They returned to the kitchen. Marge was carrying the clothes and underwear Jessie had planned to wear on her date with Mr. Bigfoot. "Burn it, Jack. Deep down, I hoped we were wrong. It's obvious that whore wore it." I walked over to Jessie, not knowing what she thought I was going to do, but I saw a spark of hope in her eyes, until I slipped the wedding ring and engagement ring off her fingers. "Jessie, I never want to see or hear from you again." Marge pulled her out of the house, warning her to stay away from her father. It was many years before I even thought about dating again. Even then, sitting across from my girlfriend, I could hear, "Get out of my sight. Go downstairs and have your little pity party." Everything changed when I met Liz. I got back into cycling seriously, running marathons and mountain biking. It was a charity event when I hit Liz, who swerved to avoid hitting a squirrel. I took her hand to help her up, and a little voice in my head said, "Oh no, here we go again." It was hard for me to open up, but Liz was patient. On the 5th anniversary of our divorce, Jessie and her friends walked past me in a restaurant. She recognized me long before I recognized her. She looked terrible, had gained 15 pounds, and looked 20 years older. "Hi, Jack," she said with a big smile. "How are you?" "Great, Jessie. By the way, we had dinner with your parents last night. They're doing well. I think your mom has stopped aging." "You had dinner with my parents?" "Yes. We've stayed very close since the divorce." While Jessie stood there stunned, Liz handed me our son. I introduced Jessie to my wife, Liz, and our son, Mike. "I don't understand why your son smears dirt on his back every day. If you'll excuse me, I have some unfinished business in the ladies' room. Liz's parents died in a car accident 10 years ago, and my parents live in Florida, so your parents quickly offered to fill in for his grandparents. I love watching your dad crawl around on the floor with Mike." Liz came back and offered to buckle Mike into his car seat, and I said goodbye to Jessie. "Jessie, in a way, I want to thank you for setting Jack up. I thank God every day that he's in my life, and sometimes I want to kick your ass for setting him up. It took a year and a lot of therapy for him to open up and tell me what happened between you two. He cried in my arms for an hour, telling me about your date with Mr. Bigfoot. Now excuse me, I'm going to go join the 2 most wonderful men on the planet. And Jessie, I'm a nurse and that's herpes on your lip. You need to see a doctor."